Liverpool 1, Manchester City 1. Coming into the game, if you'd have offered me a draw, I would have took it, but depending on the circumstances. Obviously, it's disappointing to get the draw because we were winning, but considering the circumstances of Ederson going off injured, and considering the circumstances that Liverpool did have a lot of good chances in that second half to win the game, I'm happy with the draw. We're still in the title race. We're only a point behind Arsenal and we're only a point behind Liverpool, with Arsenal as our next Premier League game, which really we have to win. If we don't win that, then that's when I see it as a concern. But until we get to that point, which hopefully we don't get to that point, then this point is a good draw. First half, I thought we were the better side. Not like by that much, but I thought we were marginally the better side in the first half. Obviously got the goal, great corner by Kevin De Bruyne, and a good finish by Stones. When I originally saw it, I thought it went wide because it looked like it from the angle that I saw it, but it went into the back of the net, and I was happy about that. I'd personally say Stones was our man of the match as well. But I thought Rodri looked a lot better today. I'm not saying that he's been bad recently, but he's not been as good as like games before that, like a few around in the beginning of the season. I thought Akanji did quite well as well, but Aki, I think that's his worst game that he's had for City in a little while, because I don't know why he had to make that risky pass. Even if he conceded a corner or a throw-in, I'd accept him doing that over doing a stupid back pass like he did. And I've seen a lot of people that would probably blame Ederson, but you can't blame Ederson for that because it's either him do that or Liverpool score a goal anyway. And I don't think you can have a go at Ederson for that, because there's very little he could have done in that situation. And I hope this doesn't knock Aki's confidence, and he picks himself up and he carries on playing to the best of his full ability. And obviously, hopefully, the Ederson injury isn't too bad either. I thought when Kovacic and Doku came on, they made a bit of a difference, because there was a period when Liverpool scored their penalty and when Ederson went off the pitch, because obviously he had to go off because of his injury, that Liverpool were absolutely dominating us, and we did well to get through that period without conceding. And I think across the whole game, a draw was probably a fair result, because we were the better team in the first half and they were the better team in the second half. I've seen a lot of people saying that they should have had a penalty, Liverpool fans in particular. But I don't think there's much Doku could have done in that situation. Because if he goes to head the ball, he might accidentally head it onto his arm. And if he tries to do a big clearance up the pitch, he ends up kicking the guy anyway, in McAllister. I've seen a lot of City fans seeing this result as the end of the world. It's not the end of the world. We've come out from Anfield with a draw, which is probably the toughest ground to go to in England, and probably only the Bernabeu comes close to it, or maybe tops it, in terms of stadiums to go to. But I feel like it's how a lot of new City supporters are that they're either over cocky, and when anything not goes wrong but isn't what they expected, but and then afterwards they end up complaining. I'm not like criticising the fan like the whole fan base. I'm just saying that it's some of the fan base. It's not the fan base as a whole. I thought Bernardo Silva struggled today, and I thought De Bruyne bar the corner for the Stones goal struggled today. But I still don't think he should have been brought off, because with a player like De Bruyne, even when he's not playing at his best, he's always got a chance of turning a game on his head. So I thought that was poor by Pep. And I feel like the Kovacic substitution was to like sort of play for a draw, when what he should have done is took Alvarez off for Doku, which he did, and then kept De Bruyne on and gone all out for the win. I know there was a possibility if we did that we could have got beat, but I don't think we should have taken De Bruyne off, because he's our best creative player by some distance. But I think Liverpool are more disappointed with this result than us, because even though they had some injuries, with the amount of chances they had in the second half, and with them being at home, they're more disappointed. They're like how we were when we drew to Liverpool when we were at the Etihad earlier on in the season in November. We were more disappointed and they were more happy. But I still think we can win the league. It's just that we can't afford to drop any points from this point, because I don't see Liverpool and Arsenal dropping up like many points between now and the end of the season. I think there's a few difficult games that Liverpool have, like Everton away, because Everton are obviously fighting relegation and it's a Merseyside derby and anything can happen. Tottenham at home for them, and also Aston Villa away. I know Villa got battered by Spurs today, but up until those 2 goals from Spurs, I thought Villa actually looked all right in the game. It was only that they conceded the 2 goals and then they crumbled. Then later on in the game they got a red card, and then after that Spurs were all over them. And they obviously got to play United as well. Arsenal and Liverpool both have to go to United. I think United wins one of those games, but in also one of the other games, I think they're going to get slapped up as one of those games as well. But if I had to say players who played well for City today, it would be John Stones, Rodri, Akanji. Ortega, I thought he did well when he came on, because I thought he made a couple of really good saves. And I thought... who else did I think do well? I thought Kyle Walker did alright as well. He did create a good chance where he put the ball across the box, but De Bruyne just didn't get a touch onto it. And he defended quite well as well. But I think Edison going off really costed us, because we weren't able to get the ball up the pitch as much as we would have done if he was still on the pitch. Because in terms of distribution, there's no goalkeeper better than Edison. And I know Liverpool did have some players out today, like Alisson and that, but Gallagher, I think's a bit better than Ortega, because I think, and he's also got like more experience than Ortega at this level in terms of like big games, because Ortega's only really played in a Manchester Derby FA Cup final. That was a big game that he's played in, wherein Gallagher's played in quite a few games. Like, I think he's played in a couple of finals, like with the Carabao Cup and that. And also, Alisson normally gets injured more than Edison does, so that's why he gets more of a chance than Ortega. But I think we can still win the league, but I do have like sort of like thoughts that Doku off the post could maybe haunt us like it did with Liverpool with the Mane off the post where Stones got it off the line when we played them in 2018-19. We'll only really know by the end of the Aston Villa and the Arsenal games whether this point was a good point or 2 points dropped. Because if we fail to beat Arsenal and Aston Villa, then we'll look at this as a point where it sort of set us back. But then if we beat Arsenal and Aston Villa at the Etihad, then this will be a point that we'd look at that pushed us forward instead of backwards. The only real negatives for City today is that I thought some of the substitutions were wrong. We've taken De Bruyne off, and I thought the way that we were passing it around the back was a bit stupid, and we were lucky that none of those times we did that we got caught out. And I think the main disappointment I have is that the goal that we gave to Liverpool could have been avoided. If they scored a worldie, then fair enough, but I don't like scoring goals. I don't like conceding goals, like that, where you feel like it could have been avoided. Because Aki's been really good for City the past few years and has rarely made that many mistakes, but he definitely made a mistake there. I know people will have a go at Ederson because a lot of our fan base likes to have a pop at Ederson for some weird reason. Because they're saying that he shouldn't have done what he did, but there's very little he could have done in that situation. But we move on to Newcastle in the FA Cup on Saturday, and then we've got Arsenal and Aston Villa. I'm going to the Aston Villa game, and then I'm going to the game against Luton as well, and not long after that I'm going to the game against Wolves. So I should be doing some content for those games. I do content for all the games, but some games I'll be at the game and then other times I won't. But I'd say the point is it's a good point, but come the end of the season it could be great, but then also come the end of the season we could look at this point as a massive disappointment. But I'm happy that we got the point considering that what happened with Ederson going off and considering that Liverpool dominated a lot of the second half. I think the draw was the fair result, but it could have easily gone either way because both teams had chances to win. Us in the first half and them in the second half. But a point against Liverpool, especially away, is never bad because they're a top team with top players. I thought Diaz for them was very good. The only thing he didn't do was put the ball in the back of the net because he had quite a few chances to score, but he missed them all. And he always seems to show up against City. I remember when he scored against us when he played for Porto as well. But I'm going to do 5 things learnt on this game. Possibly tonight, but it could possibly be at some point tomorrow. City. We keep on going and we fight to the end. Up the Blues.